Hey guys, so welcome to another video. This is an over-the-shoulder session I did with one of my students for Counter-Strike, and here I help him and guide him through how he can play Nuke around a little bit solo and introduce him to a few concepts and address a few common mistakes and misconceptions that he has had. So I hope that this benefits you as well, and hope you enjoy it. What position do you normally like to work on T-side?
Um, I don't really have one yet. Like in,
Okay.
in terms of like entry fragger or that.
No, not the
'Cause,
role, but just in terms of like, hey, I like playing ramp more, I like playing outside more, I like playing the door more. So just choosing a position that
um,
you would like to default to. So I'm just gonna insert myself here to explain a little bit about what defaults are. So in any map that you play, it's not always ideal to keep rushing a bomb side, rushing a bomb side, rushing A, rushing B, rushing B, rushing A. So you perform a default basically to gather information within the round and punish any aggressions that the enemies might be making. And with that information, we will decide which site to later on in the round hit. Roles, on the other hand, like an IGL, like an Opper, like support, like a lurker, and an entry fragger, are pretty self explanatory. But there is no such thing as you can only be an entry fragger, you can only be an Opper, you can only be a support player. Roles kind of transition as you play during the round as well. Sometimes you have to entry, sometimes you have to lurk, sometimes you have to support, depending on where you're positioned. So I don't want to dwell too deep into that, but it's important to know what a default is so that you're able to pick a position and work that part of the map whenever you play the map. Last one is ramp, since he did kill your teammate.
okay.
So under tower rather, not ramp.
He was. Oh, he was like up there.
Uh, he was under the tower, so under the ladder for CTs.
Right.
So that's where he was. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the callouts of the map. Another important thing to know whenever you play a competitive game, a pug or whatever it is at least the basics or the basic callouts of the map and what a position is called is important to know. Lot of the times whenever you move around the map, underneath the radar you will see the name of the position itself, so you could use that information and let the team know about where a certain enemy is or where you think a certain enemy is. But ideally, apart from those callouts, there are a lot more specific callouts that a lot of people have already engineered and made. So you can check those out. You can find them on Google as well if you just type the map name and search callouts. I will just attach right here a photo of that so that you get a basic idea about what it is like.
I'm getting there.
Okay.
Yeah. I think I've got like hot lobby ramp
Okay. Cool.
outside.
You can buy an AK.
Most of them. Yeah. Okay. I need util. Right?
Any util that you can afford should be the util you get. So a smoke and a nade would be ideal. So smoke and nades could be used for selfish purposes, so we'll focus on that first. But flashes, it's hard for you to flash for yourself. It's more of a support utility. Because even if you try to throw a flash for yourself, a lot of the times the flash will be dodgeable by the enemy because they'll see it coming. Because if you throw it from too close, they'll see it bouncing around, yes? And
Right.
if they're close by, they'll be able to hear the flash being thrown as well. So what I generally mean with some utility being more selfish than the others is you could use a grenade and you could throw a smoke in any which direction, or you could throw a Molotov as well, and it will still have some or the other impact. But flashbangs, the difficulty of using a flashbang for yourself is a lot higher, because if you were to think, hey, I can just flash myself so I can go fight places, it is not going to be as effective as you think it is, because usually when a flash is thrown, the enemy will be able to turn from it because they'll see it coming. However, with something like a smoke grenade, even if the enemy sees it coming, it still has its own value and impact. In similar fashion, if you were to Molotov somebody who you think might be rushing ramp, for example, even if they see it coming, this flame still does damage. So it is still effective. The same applies with the grenade itself. It is much harder to use a flashbang for selfish purposes because it requires knowledge about the map as well as information about where you can throw a flash to make it most effective and in a way that the enemy does not hear. That's why flashes are more for support, such as examples where your teammate is maybe peeking out from this angle to go to secret, and you from behind can throw a flash that, as you can see, pops right here. So if I were the enemy holding and I have no opportunity or chance to turn away from the flash. However, if you were to flash for yourself in this account, oops, like so, and then try to cross, you can see the flash coming and turn around for the flash. So flashes, the difficulty of using them is a bit higher because it's more for your teammates rather than for yourself, even though there are some instances where you could use it for yourself. In Nuke, it is a little bit harder to flash because apart from outside, when you go towards A or you go towards ramp from B, it's very narrow choke point, so it's hard to throw your utility out and have it be effective.
Right. I guess outside it's a lot easier.
Outside, a little open, so you're able to throw it in the air wherever, and it still sort of works out. Another thing you can pick up from playing a map like Nuke, we see these entrances are really small, so throwing utility through them will make it very obvious, and because there are so many boxes for cover, the places where you can throw your utility so that it is effective and affects the enemy while also being able to not hamper your team is much lower in positions like ramp, or even if you were to do it through somewhere like cabin, or even if you have to throw smokes. There are very small choke points, as you can see, which hinder the effect of utility, which is why people prefer using outside a lot more, because it's a big open space where you are able to throw your utility a lot better. You'll be able to use your smokes from a safe position, flash from a safe position, nade from a safe position, and Molotov from a safe position. But it is a little harder for A site, and if you do want to effectively throw things on A site, you will have to use these little windows. And again, this is map specific, so it might differ from map to map, but in general, if there are small choke points, it will be harder to get your utility out. We need to find other ways by which we can throw things in. So after you enter lobby, I want you to throw a grenade at the door, okay? I want you to throw a grenade at the door to blow it up, and I want you to play inside that little passageway of the door itself, okay?
Okay. So just don't like rush in. Just
Don't rush in. Just throw the nade and then hold. There are a few boxes in the passageway of the door itself where you can hide behind. So you can play there, and then you can just hold from there to kill people who will peek you after you blow up the door. Okay.
sort of right in here.
No, you could have held from behind, but since your team rushed out now, you're good. Now you want to watch the lobby push. You go back into the door and watch the right side. Because they could be pushing ramp, yes? Yes, that's the region they can come from. You see the boxes behind you? Step back a bit. So you can hide behind these and you can conveniently watch the lobby and you'll be able to watch the door as well. So it's a very powerful position that you can play. Now we just wait a little bit here and somebody might come to fight us. You can stay hidden here behind the box and just watch it as well. So yeah, you can just hold the left angle right now from here. Since your team is going B, now you just have to watch the vent rotate. You stop here. Right, stop.
Okay.
Don't go in. So they'll have to break the ventilator on the right to be able to go down to B. So you can just watch them as they drop down here. Yes, they'll have to break it and then they have to go down. So you can kill them as they go down. Perfect. And that's an easy round.
Noise. Yeah, that's a pretty strong spot.
It is a strong spot if you know how to play it and you're patient with it. Because you understood that there were two A and your team went B, the fastest rotation to B is through that vents. So if you're able to cover that, you basically won your team the round. So in essence, if you are playing this door position and your team somehow, either through ramp or through outside to secret, is able to go B, you have the perfect opportunity to cut off any rotations that could happen through vents. It is very difficult if your team has gone outside for the CTs as well to come clear all these multiple angles and go down secret, and it is also a longer path. And it is also very difficult for the CTs to be rotating through ramp because again it is a longer path and the information you get from these positions are very low. The fastest rotation for the CTs is through vents, and if through some way, some method, you are able to restrict this rotation, or you are able to wait and then based on sound cues able to flank them and kill them while they are rotating, you will most generally win the round on virtue of playing a position that cuts off the fastest rotations. You can try blowing up the door again and this time throw a Molotov as soon as the door blows up, okay? Pull out your Molotov right now. Throw it at the entrance, yes. You have the bomb right now, so I would recommend you join your team instead. Because if you die here, you will drop the bomb. So go back outside. That is fine. You're completely safe. And just join your where the majority of the team is, so that even if you drop the bomb, you are guaranteed to win the round. Another general idea that stretches across any map is the more alone you are, the higher your preference should be to be playing a little bit safer. In this case, since our friend also had the bomb, he should prefer playing a lot more safer in positions like this. It was not until he blew up the door and he was at this position that he realized that he was alone. But this again is hard to orchestrate in a PUG or in a ranked game or Premier. So it is better that we be the smart player, and if we see that we are alone, we do what we have to do. We blow up the door, we throw a Molotov, whatever we do, but we play in a position where we can disengage very easily and step back. So that even if we are alone and we leave all that control, we will get a lot more control on the outside, and even if we drop the bomb here, we will allow our team to be able to pick it up and win the round for us. So you can blow it up through... After? Yes. And wait behind these boxes? Yeah, use them as cover. Perfect. Now after this, you're able to go out the door and then fight the guys on your side, okay? Make sure... Okay, since your team is going ramp now, you can cancel. Just go towards ramp, cancel this plan, and then go join your team. Be careful as you run about under tower, okay? Under tower is the region in front of you right now. Yes, right there. You have a smoke grenade, which you can use to block off either the single door on the right or the double door on the left. And then just worry about ramp, okay? So initially the plan was to fight A side, but since your team did decide to go down and go towards ramp, it would be very silly of you to just take a solo fight towards A and just lose or win, right? It wouldn't impact the round. So we want to make sure we act as a group or as a team, because it is attack-based shooter and a team game. So this ties into the same principle that we just discussed, where if you are tending to be alone, it is better to join the team with or without the bomb. Another option that could have opened up was for him to watch anybody that's rotating through vents again, but since his presence was already known due to the first kill that was made, most enemies will come looking in this direction, so they will be completely aware that there is an enemy here. In which case, it is in our interest to reposition and join our team, and then play out the round from there. So now you want to have a little bit of a variant, okay? So I want you to throw the nade, throw the Molotov, and I want you to go out and sit on the right side. I want you to go out the door and sit on the right while you look towards the left, where you will see enemies, okay? And I want you to fight them.
By vent?
You don't want to go inside the vent, just beside the vent, okay? Open it.
Molly or?
You could molly. But you want to look left, okay? They will come on the left on top of you. Eventually you will find somebody. If you don't, you can just smoke off the entrance and then you can try to find fights A side. You are spotted now, so you have to be extra careful. Good kill. You can smoke off the entrance.
Right.
So now you can see how powerful of a position this is. So variants like these are important so that we don't stay predictable to the enemy. We do not want a situation where the enemies know exactly what we're doing and they're able to punish us for it. What we would also like to have are variants where we throw a grenade and we throw a smoke. So this gives cover for us again to enter through here. Another variant, a very similar one, if I just quickly restart the game and show you. Another quick variant would be to use the cover of this smoke itself to go down the ventilators. So these are variations that will keep the enemy guessing about how they should be and would be tackling us, and it will give us more variety as well as give us the upper hand when the enemy is caught off guard.
So as far back as I can get.
They are pushing it. What you can do is you can late open the door and then you can go down the vents. You can hear the enemies rotating down the vents, yes? There's more behind you. You want to look up the vents now. You have to stay under the ladder and look up the vents. You'll get a free kill.
Please.
Again, since your teammates out A side, you don't have to worry about A side.
Right.
You could stay in the same position and watch the radio out. You don't have to. You don't have to move to the right like you just did. If you are playing the door and you do end up in a situation where your teammates are coming through mini entrance, or they're going out cabin, or they've climbed up heaven somehow and they have the A side, our job automatically changes to either going out and joining them if there are fewer numbers, or to watch the lobby coming back. Now I did mention that he does not have to watch lobby from this position. Instead, he could take this position, which is safe from anybody that might be coming here and they won't be able to see him instantly. And also, since the enemy has to come towards A side somehow, either through the door or through the cabin if they have pushed lobby, this is a very good angle to be holding. It's an unexpected angle, and you will easily be able to farm a few kills from here, as well as watch the lobby flank from safety. Additionally, this allows you the chance to be peeking through the door and watching anybody that might be coming out through the vents or the mini entrance during the retake. You got this.
Oh, let's go. I got the triple color at the end.
So with that, I hope you have some idea at least about how you can approach an aspect of the map on T side. Of course, there are other positions that you could probably work, but I just wanted to give you guys an idea about the most easiest position to maneuver around the map and play solo with and have impact with the team. So there you have it. If you like the video, do leave it a like. Subscribe for more content like this, and I will see you guys on the next video. And if you really want coaching yourselves, my Metafy link is in the description. or you can contact me on Discord, whichever floats your boat. So see you until then.